Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Thursday, March 16th, 2023, and I am here to go over the 5-game slate in the NBA tonight. If you would hit the like button and then hit the subscribe, and after you've done those two things, hit the alarm bell. That will let you know when the newest podcast has gone live. If you are new to DFS Coach Talk, we would love to have you join us. We have our March Madness special right now with the tournament just starting today. It's a good time to bring that up. So you've got March Madness special for the rest of the month. You can join for only $10. You just hit us up on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk, send us a DM, and let us know you want to get our March Madness special. So we look forward to hearing from you, and we hope to see you soon. So let me go ahead and get started right here on the 5-game slate with the first game, 7 p.m. Eastern, the Denver Nuggets at the Detroit Pistons. Denver is favored by 14.5, largest favorite on the slate by far at the moment. And then you have injury news. So you've got Marvin Bagley, Bojan Bogdanovic, Alec Burks, Hamidou Diallo, Isaiah Livers, and Isaiah Stewart are all out for Detroit. So then on the Nuggets, Jamal Murray looks like he is likely to play. So he's probable. And then Gillespie and Najee are out. And so this game, not going to be a whole lot here for me on the Denver side for sure. I think they're going to blow out Detroit pretty easily. I do think some of these younger guys for Detroit are going to get some playing time, like Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, James Wiseman probably get some playing time too, and Killian Hayes, which you guys know how I feel about him. It seems like every time I play him, he does terrible. When I don't, he goes off. So do with that what you will. Not a whole lot I like in this game. Probably my favorite play is probably James Wiseman. He is a little bit more expensive than he has been. $6,900 on DraftKings, $7,000 on FanDuel, $19 on Yahoo. He's averaged 35.3 DraftKings points in his last 5 games, 4.5% owned on DraftKings, 9% on FanDuel, decent amount of ownership at 24.4 on Yahoo. So you can look at Jalen Duren, the backup too. Jalen Duren was a starter most of the year, and then they traded for Wiseman, and now he's been starting. So Duren might get even more run with this situation with the blowout potential. So Duren's in play too. He's 5,200 on DraftKings, 6,500 on FanDuel, $19 on Yahoo, 13.7% on DraftKings, 3.4% on FanDuel, and 2.8% on Yahoo. You have Killian Hayes. Like I said, he always goes off when I don't play him. When I play him, he doesn't do very good at all. So I'm not sure if I'm going to play him. Jaden Ivey, I think, is a solid play. 7,000 on DraftKings, 6,900 on FanDuel, $23 on Yahoo, 10% on DraftKings, 19.3% on FanDuel, and 22.4 on Yahoo. Nobody on the Nuggets that I'm going to play. Like I said, I just think this game's going to blow out, and it's going to be too hard to predict who to use. With Detroit, it's a little bit easier because they only have so many guys that can play with all the injuries. So let me go ahead and take a look at the chat. Stacks, what's going on, man? Doug, how's it going? You're okay with Joseph? Yeah, I mean, I let me look and see something real quick. Corey Joseph on DraftKings, he is currently 4,900, coming in at low ownership at 4.8% on FanDuel. Joseph is 5,900 at 1.3%. 5,900, I wouldn't pay that for him. And then $12 on Yahoo at 9.4%. So yeah, he could be a decent lower owned play on this slate for sure. It's only 5 games, so you can, you don't have to be quite as picky. You can play a lot more guys that you may not normally play just because there's so few to choose from compared to, the bigger slates. So, all right. So we've got at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, the Sacramento Kings taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn's favored by 3, has a 238 over under. This should be the closest game of the night based on these records and everything. I think it should be probably the marquee matchup. The slate doesn't have a whole lot of that. So I think that Sacramento Brooklyn's probably the best game. And So you've got Rashawn Holmes questionable and Ben Simmons out. So Holmes is questionable for Sacramento and Ben Simmons is out for Brooklyn. Project the starting lineup for the Kings: Fox, Herter, Barnes, Murray, and Sabonis. For the Nets: Dinwiddie, Bridges, Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nicholas Claxton. All right, so Sacramento side, the top two, Sabonis and Fox, would be my top two. Sabonis is 10-1 on DraftKings, 10-2 on FanDuel, $42 on Yahoo. He's averaged 55.9 DraftKings points his last 5 games. He's 12.6% on DraftKings, 14.6 on FanDuel, and 19% on Yahoo. Then you have De'Aaron Fox, 8,900 on DraftKings, 9,700 on FanDuel, $36 on Yahoo. He's averaged 48.9 DraftKings points in his last 10 games, 10.1% on DraftKings, 4.4% on FanDuel, and 17.4% on Yahoo. Fox has been absolutely just killing it in the fourth quarter lately. If you saw the game last night against the Bulls, he hit the game winner. He's just really been just coming up huge in the clutch. So if you have a slow night from Fox, hang in there. The fourth quarter, he should really get it going. All right, so then we can look at the Nets. Their top projected owned player is Spencer Dinwiddie. He's at 7,900 on DraftKings, 8,700 on FanDuel, $30 on Yahoo. He's averaged 46.5 DraftKings points in his last 5 games. He's at 32.7% on DraftKings, 17.6 on FanDuel, and 36.4 on Yahoo. Then you have Mikal Bridges, who's a little bit more. He's 80th in Dinwiddie on FanDuel at 8,500, and then he's $32 on Yahoo. He had 50 DraftKings points in his game on Tuesday. He's 17.4% on DraftKings, 23.6% on FanDuel, and 29.4% on Yahoo. Nicholas Claxton's in a pretty good spot. He's 6,600 on DraftKings, 7,700 on FanDuel, $27 on Yahoo. He's averaged 36.4 DraftKings points in his last 5 games. He's at 29.7% on DraftKings, 19.9 on FanDuel, and 22.2 on Yahoo. Then you have Cameron Johnson. He's 6,300 on both DraftKings and FanDuel, only $20 on Yahoo. He's scored 41.3 DraftKings points against the Thunder on Tuesday. He's 24% on DraftKings, 43.3 on FanDuel, the highest of any player, and then 31% on Yahoo. So quite a bit of ownership for the Nets. Like I said, this should be the best game of the night, so I get the ownership. And then let's see, the next game is the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Toronto Raptors, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Toronto's favored by 6.5. I think it should be more, but we'll see what happens. And it's a 231 over-under. For the Thunder, Pokusevski's out. Delano Banton is out for the Raptors. Projected starting lineup: SGA, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Jalen, and Jalen Williams, Jaylin. And then for the Raptors, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Jakob Poeltl. For the Thunder, I'm not going to SGA. He's averaged 37.5 DraftKings points in his 6 games against the Raptors. He had 36.8 against them earlier this year on November 11th. They have allowed the 7th fewest fantasy points to point guards this year, so I will definitely not be playing SGA tonight. Jalen Williams is my favorite play on the Thunder. He's 7,100 on DraftKings, 7,700 on FanDuel, $30 on Yahoo. He's averaged 43.8 DraftKings points in his last 5 games. He's only 3.4% on DraftKings, 4.7% on FanDuel, and 2.4 only on Yahoo. And then for the Raptors, the main play and the only play I'm really looking at is Siakam, mainly in single entry and cash games because he's the highest owned player on Yahoo, and he's one of the highest on FanDuel and DraftKings too. So his ownership's pretty high. He's 8,400 on both DraftKings and FanDuel, $32 on Yahoo. The Thunder have allowed the 8th most fantasy points to power forwards this year. When they faced off on February 9th last year, Siakam had 59 DraftKings points, so it's a good matchup for him. 25% on DraftKings, 40.3% on FanDuel, and 44% the highest projected on player on Yahoo. Let me check the chat. My take on Monk. I do like Malik Monk. He's very streaky. Let me just kind of see what he's been doing lately, just statistically. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. 13, 36, 37, 19, 33. So like he's either going to get you 30 plus or somewhere in the mid to high teens. And so that's just what you can expect with Malik Monk. So looks like the last game was against the Bulls last night. He had a pretty solid game. He might be regressing a little bit tonight. It's just kind of what you get with Malik Monk. All right, the next game. This game is very news dependent. 8 p.m. Eastern, Indiana Pacers at the Milwaukee Bucks. You've got a ton of injury news here that we need before we really know what to do in this game. Assuming everybody plays, it could be a decent matchup. The Pacers kind of held their own last time they played the Bucks. I don't think Giannis played the very last time they played, but he did the time before that, had a monster game. If all these guys are out, though, especially on the Pacers side, this game is definitely blowout potential for sure. But we'll just have to get the news, honestly. So, because you've got Halliburton questionable, Buddy Hield questionable, TJ McConnell questionable, Miles Turner questionable, Duarte and Mathurin are out. And then for the Bucks, Crowder's questionable, Dragic is questionable. Brook Lopez, that's a big one, is questionable. And then Grayson Allen is out, and Giannis's brother Thanasis is out too. So you've got the projected starting lineup right now with Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Buddy Hield, Aaron Naismith, and Miles Turner. But like I said, Halliburton, Hield, and Turner are all questionable, so that could change quite a bit. For the Bucks, Holiday, Carter, Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez, who, as I said, is questionable, which if he's out, then Bobby Portis will start. I do like, on the Indiana side, I do like Jordan Nwora. He's 4,700 on DraftKings, 5,800 on FanDuel, $14 on Yahoo. He's been playing better of late. He was drafted by the Bucks, so it's a little bit of a revenge game for him. He's 10% owned on DraftKings, 1.6% on FanDuel, and 4.2 on Yahoo. For the Bucks, it's all going to depend on the news. If Halliburton and Turner and those guys are out, I don't think Giannis is going to get a ceiling game. If they play, he's definitely in play. He had a 70.5 DraftKings points game the last time he played them, which was on January 27th. And Indiana has allowed the 6th most fantasy points to power forwards. He's averaged 65.3 DraftKings points his last 5 games against Indiana. So if Halliburton and Turner and Hield and all those guys play, Giannis is definitely in play. Then you have Brook Lopez. He has averaged 46.8 DraftKings points his last 5 games. The Pacers have allowed the 4th most fantasy points to centers this year. His questionable tag, he's getting no ownership at all. He's 0.1% on DraftKings, 1.3% on FanDuel, and 5.4% on Yahoo. So if Lopez plays, definitely in play for me. If not, you can look at Bobby Portis. Portis is 6,500 on DraftKings, 6,700 on FanDuel, $17 on Yahoo. Got 0.1% ownership on all 3 sites right now. But if Lopez is out, he'll start, and it'll make him a big play or a much better play. I don't know about a big play because this game could be a blowout. And then you have Middleton getting quite a bit of ownership, especially on Yahoo, where he's only $28. He's 26.4% owned over there. So on Yahoo, he's in play. And that will take us to the last game of the night at 10 p.m. Eastern. The Orlando Magic are at Phoenix. Phoenix is favored by 8 as a 228 over under. Gary Harris is questionable for the Magic. And then Torrey Craig is probable. Kevin Durant and Landry Shamet are out for Phoenix. So for the Magic, you've got Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris if he plays, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr., and then on the Phoenix side, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Josh Okogie, Torrey Craig, and DeAndre Ayton. Not a whole lot of interest for me in this game. I think Phoenix is going to win this game pretty comfortably. They're going to be pretty upset. after losing that game to the Bucks on Tuesday. And so I think that this game is going to get out of hand. But I do like Wendell Carter Jr. a little bit. He's $6,500 on DraftKings, $7,400 on FanDuel, $22 on Yahoo. He had 43 DraftKings points against the Suns on November 11th. He's at 12.8% on DraftKings, 7.3% on FanDuel, and 11% on Yahoo. And then for Phoenix, you've got a value play in Cameron Payne, 3,400 only on DraftKings. He's 4,700 on FanDuel and $10 min price on Yahoo, which is weird because his lowest amount of ownership right now is on Yahoo, where he's min price. So he's 24.3% owned on DraftKings, 8.9% on FanDuel, and 2.4% on Yahoo. And then as far as PrizePicks goes, I've been playing this play pretty much every single time it's been on the board. It's Jalen Williams, more than 30.5 fantasy score. He's gone over this number now in 9 straight games. So until that changes, I'm going to keep playing it. As far as another PrizePicks plays go, I don't really have anything at the moment. I think that it looks like Shea SGA, he just moved down a point too, from 49.5 to 48.5. I kind of like the under on that one at 49.5. But Lopez isn't on the board. That's one I'm looking at. If he plays, he's been going over that number. It's been around 30, and he's gone over that number, I think, like 8 games in a row or something. So I do like that. Another play I could look at would be Pascal Siakam. I'll take the more than on 39.5 fantasy score for him. So that'll be the other play. So Jalen Williams more than 30.5 and Pascal Siakam more than 39.5. Best 5 FanDuel plays in a value play. Honestly, it's really going to come down to the news. Once we have the news, I'll have a lot better feel for this slate. Right now, there's a whole lot up in the air. I don't even know if I could tell you like my 5 core plays right now. It's just really a lot out there that I'm waiting on. So one core play for sure, though, is going to be Siakam. Another one for value would probably be, I don't know, there's not a whole lot of value on this slate right now. I mean, Cameron Johnson is 6,300. That's not really a value play. Yeah, there's just not a whole lot that I feel confident in giving as a top play for sure. So we're going to wait on the news on that. But Siakam definitely going to be a core play. I can tell you that. All right, before we have any other questions, before we get out of here, I should say, does anybody have any other questions? No more updates on the injury news there. All right, looks like that's going to do it. Hope everybody has a great night tonight. Let's absolutely crush it. Deb's going to be in tomorrow, and maybe Coach will be joining her. I'm not sure, but for sure Deb will be in tomorrow as we just continue to look to crush it in NBA, DFS, and PrizePicks. Thank you.